Hi.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just, here by my mom, so I was just kind of keeping her company, and I think I got through off with time. When you get into that old conversation with your mom and stuff now.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. She just threw me off completely. But I'm here. I'm here for it, girl. I'm here for it.
So, today is our discussion on self-awareness. I am excited about this topic. We know that a lot of us, need that knowledge, because even though we are aware sometimes, we need to be reminded. So I'm excited about this topic. But tell me, before we begin and get into that, seriousness of it, what are you drinking?
Girl, to be honest, today I am taking it very light. I'm having some coconut water. Right, that's all. Just coconut water, plain coconut water. So I want to say good evening for everyone who joined in. Shorty Michaela, Latifa, David, hi, Marvin, Yanai, Dance, I'm shocked, Dancy, Jay, welcome, Lynn. Welcome to all of y'all. And like as Bambi said, we are kind of looking inward today. We're not looking outward. Today, outward appearance is not important. So just ignore my outward appearance. We're looking inward today.
Yes.
What are you having?
Well, so I'm doing it light too. But you're having coconut water and I'm actually having water.
Oh, okay. How this happen? What's going on?
I think because we are self-aware today, we need to, have our A game on a point now all the time. So today is that.
Yeah. And it's almost like the softest thing when Madam Vinci also. No, I'm having the fridge. Yes.
Yes,
so,
talk to me.
Yeah, so last week well, what is everybody else? I'm seeing Janicia joining. Hi.
Janicia.
I'm really happy to see you all. Hi, Dancy.
Lena's having water too.
You're right. So y'all let us know what you're drinking. Today's Sunday. It's 7 p.m. on a Sunday. And you should be relaxing tomorrow. The week starts back. For some, back to work. For others, it's another weekend. So y'all can be drinking heavy, y'all can be drinking light. What are y'all having? What's going on? There's a hot topic, and we need stuff to keep the mouth watered, we don't want a dry mouth.
Indeed.
But yeah. So last week we were just talking about the art of kissing. Triple berry smoothie. Okay, Latifa. Very nice. I could drink some of that actually. But we were talking about kissing last week, and that topic led into this topic with a very interesting question from someone who asked us about equal rights and men and women, and and it kind of gave us the impetus to get into self-awareness. Yes. Because a lot of people, we realize that they talk a lot about relationships and they have so many issues with themselves and with relationships, and they don't address the root cause of things, and that is the fact that they don't know themselves, basically.
Right? Yeah.
So Sunday Aqua, what is that, David? What is Sunday Aqua? What is that? Sunday what? Yeah. So with respect to that, I kind of just wanted to jump in because I was after that discussion we were having, I was really thinking about my own life and what I've experienced that made me realize that I needed to become more self-aware. And for me, what happened was, I guess it was the ending of a relationship, whereby, when you're in a space I don't know if you can relate to this, right? But you know when you're in a space that you know you want something, but you know you're missing something, but you don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if you ever felt that, but that is what I was experiencing, and it cost that little very confusing period of my life cost me a relationship because I knew that there was something in the relationship that I was missing. I knew that I wanted something more, but I couldn't really explain what it was, right? And or even worse, I couldn't explain it to my partner at the time what it is that I needed from him. So, you know, that caused a lot of disagreements, and that caused a lot of, you know, the whole question, what's supposed to do, you know, that whole thing. And I couldn't really explain it, or, you know, because I didn't take the time really actually to think about what it is I needed from that person or what it is I wanted from that person. So the relationship, you know, came to an end. And I decided after that relationship that I was going to spend some time doing introspection. I was going to spend some time trying to figure out what went wrong in that last relationship that caused me to feel the way I felt, to cause me to make the decision that was made, and to make me do the things that I did. So I went on this research about, you know, just simple things about to find out more about myself, and what it is I liked, and what it is that how it is I felt people perceived me, how I think my partner at that time perceives me, what it is I would want out of a relationship, and all these different things. And when I sat down and I answered those questions, it was only then that I was able to say, you know what? I now know why I ended that relationship, and I now know what I would be looking for if it is that I'm to get into a new relationship, right? And honestly, it helped me like definitely write down the things that was necessary, that, you know, the exact things that was necessary for me, what I wanted, what would make me execute my purpose, you know, because at the end of the day, we want to be able to always execute our purpose in this life. A lot of people don't know their purpose just yet, so that is another part of self-awareness that people need to tackle. And, you know, that experience of that relationship and the way I ended it caused me to now go on to this self-awareness journey, and it caused me to now become more aware, you know. So have you ever had a scenario in your life that you went from, you know, not knowing about yourself much to I have to become more self-aware? Is there any situation that you could remember at this time?
Gil, to be honest, ever since I've known myself, I am the type of person to always do self-evaluations in that sense. Since small, you know, I'm always looking at me, trying to see how I could better myself. And I think that was more influence from my mom. You know, she's that type of person, and being that type of person and being around her and seeing her doing these things would help put me in check too. So I would be like, okay, let me, you know, try and figure out who Chantal. Sorry, my bad. Who, you know, who I am in that sense.
Yeah.
And what happened is, growing up with it, you know, I would constantly be checking myself, checking over and over and over again. And I think if you're asking the question of if I ever had a lost moment, I would say yes, I had a lost moment in life, because, you know, when you're growing up, you're trying to figure out who you are, and you wouldn't have all the answers per se. And because I think I was more trying to figure out me so much in that sense, what I liked, what were my strengths and weaknesses, you know, what I was passionate about, and that kind of thing. You know, I had moments where I would have blacked out or blank out a little bit, because it's like, 1 minute I want to do this, next minute I want to try this, next minute if I try this and I don't succeed at it, or I'm not too good at it, I get a little depressed and I'm like, oh gosh, well that's not it, you know. And I'll be like, well, what should I do, you know, what should I do? And thankfully I am grateful for always keeping in check with me. You know, sometimes when I feel down and out and depressed, I would be like, Gil, pick yourself up, you know, you're beautiful. And sort of talk to myself and just try to encourage myself in that sense, because that kind of energy, you know, if I have to meet a friend or whatever, I could transfer it upon them that kind of way now. And I didn't really want to do that. So I always try to be aware of how I'm feeling, aware of what I'm saying and thinking, because these things are going to transfer, you know, to whoever I am around or talking to at that time now. So that's basically, you know.
Okay. So Ainsley, no lipstick tonight. Tonight is one of those mellow, you know, reflective self nights. So no lipsticks tonight. So just good night to Afion came in and Davidson and Ayana, Anissa and Susie, Cliff, and good night. Levi. Good night to everyone. So for y'all who don't know, and Jimmy Sweet, good night. Yes, we see you're reaching the house. I hope you're drinking something nice. So we're just talking about self-awareness. So, you know, what we want with respect to your experience and my experience, you know, I went and I looked for a nice little definition of what self-awareness is. And I also came up with, I didn't come up with, but I also found some questions that would help with self-awareness. And then later on, I guess I could probably just give a little insight as to what I do to always reflect and keep myself in check and always keep that awareness of myself going, right? So the definition that I found of self-awareness was that self-awareness is the conscious knowledge of one's own feelings and character. So it's having a very sharp understanding or realization of your personality. You understand? This is what it's checking. The realization of your personality, your strengths and weaknesses, your thoughts and beliefs, your emotions and your motivations. So basically, everything that makes you is, you have to be aware of it so that you would know how to treat yourself, how to treat others, and what you should expect from people. Because, you know, I have a lot of friends who I talk to, and you could sense when somebody is not aware of themselves, because they're saying they don't know why somebody treating them a certain kind of way, and it's a behavior that the person is accustomed doing. And if it is that somebody is continuously behaving with you a certain kind of way, it's because it has been done, it has been allowed, and it has been continued to happen. And that you don't even know that you don't like that, or you don't know that this is something that you want change, for you to be able to communicate with the person. And then you just like, I don't know what it is about this person that what I just can't take. So simple questions people fail to ask themselves. And for everyone who is on right now, I mean, you know that on Wednesdays we have this Q&A session whereby we talk about, we answer questions, and we also now started doing activities. So on Wednesday we'll be talking about, we'll be asking questions with respect to self-awareness and the type of questions you should be asking yourself. And one of them are, what are your 3 greatest strengths? So Bambi, seeing that you have undergone so much self-awareness activities over the years, and I think at each stage in your life, from a young woman to an adult, you would have done these activities, so that at each stage you would have known the things that you like and what makes you who you are. So just give me 3 of your greatest strengths, you think.
3 of my greatest strengths. I have leadership type quality. So I would say that I'm a natural leader. I am very creative. Creative in the sense of visionary. You know, I would consider myself a visionary. And also, I also consider myself a very open-minded person. Those are good traits that I think.
Okay, so J Squared is saying that his 3 strengths are his music,
making children.
Okay, no, but this is not about your wife telling us. You should know
for yourself
your 3 strengths. Your 3 strengths, and also being self-aware means that you do know how people perceive you, because getting that information is not only from you thinking, but from you asking questions, asking your friends. So what is all they like about me? So what it is you all don't like about me? You know, that is becoming more self-aware. So J Squared, you need to ask your wife these 3 things, right? And find out what about you are your strengths. So Bambi, what are 2 of your biggest weaknesses?
2 of my weaknesses, I would say, depending on the project. Sometimes I am challenged with a huge project, and because of the dynamics of the project, I would have a little bit of self-doubt. So I find that is something that would occur, you know, depending on the size of the challenge presenting itself. And the other thing that I find myself doing, and I think a lot of people could relate to, procrastination. Jesus.
Well, Benzie say that, and that is mine. That is mine too. And also, you know what it is? What I hate about myself, I like it and I hate it. I am a bit of a perfectionist, and that messes up. And I have 2 problems. So I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and then I have time management issues that I've been working on. I think since I have been since I started secondary school, I've been trying to work on this. And it is not, I don't know what, it is not happening. And my perfection, the fact that I like things to be done perfect.
Yeah. And
then I procrastinate, and then I have time management issues. I think that don't mix. So I just end up with a perfect idea and a perfect strategy. And I may sometimes, like when it comes to execution, I might be pressured because I might wait down to the last minute to do it. Because I'm trying to figure out, and Adrian is saying that I have memory issues. Yes, I have memory issues too. I have real issues, oh gosh. But I mean, these are things that I know about myself, and it's something that I work on all the time, every day. I'm always doing calendars and timetables, but then the memory issues just kick in, and then I forget to check the calendars at the time. But anyway, it's working, right? My life works. So the next question. So what qualities, you can give me like about three qualities or traits do you admire most in others?
What I admire most in others, definitely that leadership quality that I'm talking about, because not everyone can be a leader in that sense. So that dynamic of leadership, that is what catches me with persons. Two, I like a certain type of poise, so poise, elegant, graceful,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
manner, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Etiquette, these things is what I admire in person. So somebody who speaks well as well, properly, yeah. It's like, wow, she speaks so proper. I love that. So those are things that I admire in persons.
I like the leadership part. I am really attracted to a leader. You see somebody that is in charge and not boastful or aggressive with it. I don't know if to explain, but you see somebody who can take charge of a situation and make you be like,
yeah,
I will follow you. I like that. And you see hygiene, I admire that. People who can, take serious care of themselves physically, with respect to hygiene and their physical fitness and I guess their health. Yeah, I like that. So Denzi is attracted to charisma and emotional control. That emotional control, boy, that is all about self-awareness as well. So I guess the more you practice self-awareness, you will be able to understand yourself emotionally and others, and you know how to treat certain situations.
People who could cook, who's self-confident, and people who could push through adversity. That's what he says he admires in others.
Yes, that is true. So the people who can push through adversity, for sure. And the last question that I have for you, Bam, is what do you believe you are here to accomplish or contribute to the world? Have you ever thought about that?
Yes. So the thing is, I believe that we are all here for a purpose, right? We were created with divine intervention in that sense, and we ought to figure out for ourselves why we were put here on earth, right? And for me personally, I do believe, and I can say this now because when I was younger, trying to, like I was telling you earlier, figure me out in that sense, even though I was self-aware, there was still a struggle, right? And can I just say, of recently, I've figured out, what I'm here for, what I'm called for, and my purpose on earth, for being here and that kind of thing. And that is my talents. My talents are going to make a way for me. I am skilled and gifted in many ways. I just haven't been using all of my talents. And now I've decided to start showcasing them one by one. Right? One of them would be, I don't know, people tend to come to me for advice.
I wonder why.
It's a thing. And I have not been, really taking it on. And I was like, but they always say, Shan, you give good advice. So I'm like, okay, but I give advice based on my experiences. I give advice, based on what I've seen and learned and observed. I don't just give advice because, I feel to talk. But, that is one of the things that I think I need to share a little bit more of me with persons who need, that help and that love and whatever direction they need the assistance in. Once I have the experience, I will be able to say. But Ainsley, I don't know how Ainsley know this. Look square. Oh my God. Well, right. So the next thing is that I can sing. And not a lot of people know that. I dance as well. Yes, square. Thanks for, And I want to be able to share my talents with the world. I think because these are the areas that I would prosper in because I'm good at it. It would be well received in that sense. I'm able to help. I'm able to bless a life, you know, in with my talents, and I have been sticking on some of them, and I really just want to. No, right? But I really want to just start showcasing my talents one by one, and bless hearts. So yeah.
Okay. Lord Bambi asking, it's a single. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this?
Listen, one of the things, and it's so funny, yeah? One of the things I've observed about myself is that I tend to be shy, and that is not my personality.
When you get put on spot like that. When you get put on spot. Yeah.
Put me on the spot and I'm like, what? But if people that know me, you know, would be like, girl, oh my God, you're such a you're such a fun-filled person, and you're always making me laugh and da 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 da. And you see how they put me on this spot here now and tell me sing.
Guys, don't worry. I have a video on my phone whereby my girl Bambi is singing a song. So I'm going to post that on my my feed after, and you will be able to see her sing in the most natural way ever. no, nothing. Just her being natural and singing, you know. So I'll post it. Yeah, this will prove yourself.
He didn't want no video, he wanted live. All right, post a song, and I'll try.
Oh, good. We get it into it, man. We get it into it. Yeah, but I should post a song now, you know. Okay, so let me see if I can sing. Or they post a song for her to sing. She given all them what y'all want. Post a song for her to sing. You see, no, you can't. No, you can't sing. Post a song. We're giving you all the opportunity for her to sing anything.
Oh Lord.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can think of something.
Square, you know that when we were in the group together, we had a song that we were singing. Them old time, real slow music.
Shania Twain, Still the One.
Nope, I don't know that song. When I say I don't know the song, meaning that I don't know the words like that. So I don't want to, you know, be showcasing my first audition.
I know that song. You all want me to sing it?
Yes, please. Please do.
You all want me to sing Shania Twain, Still the One? Because I know that song. Any Whitney. Whitney boy.
All right, so here what, guys, before the live is finished, I promise that I will sing something for you. Right?
Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay, let me say Shine Bright Like a Diamond. Rihanna. Nah, Jack, but Square, you don't even know if I can sing or not. I find you very rude to say nah. That I can't. No, I don't. Whatever. Y'all are haters because I can sing. A lot of Bambi straight have rubbed off on me over the few years that I've known her. So, you know, I picked up a few things like the D and the E chord and how to start on E, you know? Yeah. Square is so rude. He is so rude.
Square, I appreciate Square's honesty. Square is
rude. I don't appreciate his honesty because he don't know if I can sing or not. Oh.
Listen,
rude as hell. I don't get it. But anyway, so you will sing a song.
I will. Before we close, I will draw a little something.
All right. So we end the show with Bambi singing today. Yes. So, with respect to guys, I just wanted you all to know that we were also asked to kind of we were asked to explain self-awareness in a kind of way whereby we can teach young adults, well, not young adults, teenagers, about self-awareness. And so how we kind of we at first we wanted to talk about it in terms of like relationships and how becoming more self-aware would be able to assist you in your relationship. But I think we need to generalize it a little bit more just for the benefit of these 4 or 5 students that would be listening to this video and trying to understand more about how they can become more self-aware. We wanted to just mention that, you know, in terms of self-awareness, it can help you in terms of planning your future. So a lot of people don't understand that understanding certain things about themselves can help them figure out what career path they want to go into, what type of activities and hobbies you should get yourself involved in, you know, extracurricular activities that you should start doing, finding the most compatible partner, or even finding the best friends for your life. All these things you can get through understanding more about yourself and your emotional state. Also controlling your emotions. So Denzi would have mentioned that he likes somebody who can control their emotions. The only way you can get at it is if it is you understand your emotions, right? So some of the things that I did when I was undergoing my process, right? So I decided that I was going to first look at myself objectively and try to understand my current and try to identify my current understanding of myself based on my perception and other people's perception of me. Right. So what I did was I asked myself a lot of questions, you know, like, you know, what do I like? How do I like to be treated by people? How do I like to treat people? What do I expect from females? What do I expect from males? We're watching.
Sorry.
What are you looking at? You're supposed to be watching me alone. That's what I expect from you, to be watching me. We're watching. Anyway.
Sorry. Yeah. I was just trying to adjust our music now.
No. Yeah. And the perceptions that people have of you, had of me. So I at first, you know, I looked back at many of the conflicts that I would have been in. Like I'm not a big, I don't really get into much conflict with people, to be honest. But for the few, what are you looking at? But for the few that I've been in conflict with, Lynn, you can explain to me what you're looking at, so? For the few that I've been in conflict with, you know, I had to kind of understand, why did they get upset with me? Like, was I wrong in the situation? Was I right in the situation? What about me that caused this? You know, and that helped me with conflict resolution. So I found out about myself that it's not a bad thing, but I guess it could be tailored, you know, that I do like to get my way. You see, just can feel your husband dancing.
No.
I do like to get my way in a lot of things, right? But I figured out that it's not a bad thing, and it's not too much of a good thing. There are certain times where you have to relinquish the things that you want for the greater good of peace between two people, and you also have to allow other people to enjoy that moment of victory, you know. And for me, I'm just like I'm usually a very persistent person. If I see something that I want, I honestly persistently go behind it, and it might come across to others like, you know, you're always bullying. I see Ari came on, and I use that word because Ari was one of those who used that word. She said I'm a bully, but it's not that I'm a bully. It's just that I'm going to try to get what I want and try until I realize I really can't. You know, that's just me. You know, because I just feel as though you should always try to get what it is you want that makes you happy in your life. You know? So if it is that other people don't have the persistence for it, then that's not my problem, you know. But I do have that persistence. So I try to look at myself. I try to look at myself and understanding the part that I am in my life. I try to understand who I am at that time and what is required of me. And you see that question that I asked you, the last question on purpose. That purpose would always change for you at different times in your life. So I try to understand where I am at that point and what my purpose could be at that point, right? And then I go into the writing and the journaling. So you write down all these things about yourself. The 10 traits you like the most, the 10 traits you hate the most, the things that you hate about people, and how you, or the things that you love about people. Your friends, you write down the list of friends that you have. And when I say friends, I mean the genuine friends, and the ones that when you count it up is only like 5. You write on that list and you write down the qualities that you love about them and what is it in comparison to you, and what it is you don't like about them, and what it is you can always try to change, right? I will really answer after because I couldn't follow. What did Ben say? Always wanting what you want. Right. So Desi, it came across like that, but it was not actually that. It is a very fine line between going after what you want relentlessly and being selfish or inconsiderate. Because when I think when I realize it's becoming inconsiderate to the other person, then I will back off. And I'll be like, well, okay, fine. It's not going to go down this road, no problem. And that's where we have to fix the conflict or whatever that might have occurred. But I am relentless when it comes to, what it is I want. That is just, one of the things that I wrote down, So then you write down all your goals. So that's what I did. I wrote down all my goals that I wanted to achieve at that time. I wrote down my plans. I wrote down my priorities. I wrote down all these different things. And I try to see, where my strengths and my weaknesses would help me achieve it or not achieve it. So I know which one I have to work on. And that's how I know that I have time management issues and I have procrastination issues, and I really wish Bambi could tell me what you're looking at. I really wish Bambi could tell me what you're looking at.
Oh my God.
What are you looking at? Anyway, right? And then you always have to perform. You always have to perform self-reflection. Right? You always have to perform self-reflection and sit with yourself, meditate with yourself, figure out what and reflect on the day, reflect on people. I try to figure out the same thing, and I wish you could tell me so that I'll feel more comfortable. I'll feel more comfortable knowing that, why should I look in this direction? Is it the baby?
Oh no, sorry guys. I was just trying to get our music going, but I'm listening.
The music? What music?
Continue.
I don't want music. I don't want to care about music right now, right? And then always take tests. And then always take tests. So you take a personality test, you take psychometric tests to kind of understand your emotional and mental states at the time, and then ask friends. Always search for feedback. If it's one thing, your genuine friends will always give you feedback, I realize. And Bambi is one thing that I have to thank you for. I have to thank you for always giving me, what is the word? Positive feedback. It's not positive feedback, but feedback that helps build my character and helps me to understand what it is I'm doing right, what it is I'm doing wrong, and all these different things. I have to thank you for being one of those friends that does that. I have other friends here that do that for me as well. So I want to tell them thank you. And always talk to your friends and ask them the question as to, what do you think about me? What do you think about my flaws or my positives? And, critical feedback. Critical. Yeah, that's all. That's it. Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think so.
Hmm. So what do you do, Bambi,
What do I do? What?
with respect to what is your practice that you do for self-awareness?
Okay, so for me, what I do personally is, let's say there's a particular thing that I want to get accomplished, and I would more or less put everything to paper, pen to paper, right, and try to see how well I could navigate around the task at hand, right? And what I do, guys, I am so distracted. Oh my god.
Why are you distracted?
All right, so yeah, so basically what I do is, if the situation presents something negative in it, right, I would observe my behavior in it. So the first time, obviously, I would fail, and I would be like, let's say if I'm having a conversation with a friend and we have a misunderstanding per se, and my reaction towards that person wasn't probably a nice one, I would now check myself and be like, well, why did you blurt out like that? Or why did you say it like that? The person was only trying to get their points across, and I went in my feelings, and sometimes when you go into your feelings, you shut off, you lock off, and that kind of thing. And because I'm aware of how I behaved, what will happen is, the next time I'm speaking to that person, let's say we come and we trash things out and we get back to a normal place and whatever, what I will tend to do now is that if we have another type of conversation, and I know it may lead down to the part of us disagreeing again, I would tend now to keep my attitude in check. All right, this is what you need to do. You need not to react, and I'll talk to myself. So I'll be talking to myself within, and saying, be conscious of how you respond to this person, because at the end of the day, this person means well, and don't take everything that they're saying to heart or personally, because sometimes they're making a general statement, and because something within there probably a bit touchy and close to your heart in that sense, they probably don't know of it, but because it hits you in a different way, you tend to get in your feelings. So one of the things I do is talk to myself a lot in my head and try to respond differently. Do the unexpected then. Don't do my typical behavioral pattern. If I know that I will get upset fast or vexed or whatever, I tend to try to take deep breaths in and out, or say, just give me a minute, I'll go in the bathroom, probably wash my face, talk to myself, and that's what I do to help, quell a situation and keep myself in check when I don't want to be having a loud outburst to someone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and do you think that your journey of being self-aware helps you in choosing the right partner, and also in having a good marriage? Because you would have that experience of marriage. So all these self-awareness activities that you would have been doing prior to getting into a relationship, prior to getting married, and even after, do you think that has helped you, or how has it helped you rather? Because it will help you, but how has it helped you?
When it comes to a partner, that's why today is so important, because it all starts with you, right? I think once you start putting into practice, especially young people, once you start putting into practice what we're telling you here tonight, self-awareness is really being in tune with who you are, finding that your strengths, your weaknesses, what you're good at. So sometimes, let's say for example that you're you're a very sociable person, but you don't have administrative skills, right? You'll try now to go and get a job that's have relating to customer service because you're sociable, right? And in that sense, right, once you are aware of your strengths, your weaknesses, how things make you feel, how life affects you in that way, if you would cringe, why you turn up your face, and these things. Once you answer honestly to yourself about these things, what you like, if it is somebody, let me say, shout behind your ears, your reaction, once you know these things within you, I truly believe that you are definitely going to know who you are as a person. Once you know who you are as a person, then it's easy for you to pick a mate now. Because when you're going into relationships and let's say you're courting and that kind of thing, right? From the moment you realize, okay, I have standards, I am an upright person, I like X, I like Z, I don't like that, I don't like to feel this way or uncomfortable or whatever, right? And persons you are around and you're going out with and you're courting and that kind of thing, and the moment you see something, you're not going to question yourself and be like, nah, he nice, I'll give him a chance, or she nice, I'll give her a chance, just because, because you will know who you are as a person. And because you would know who you are and you're sure of you in that sense, right, it would be a bit easier to pick someone that's suited for you, right?
But at the time that you were courting your now husband, did you undergo certain practices or activities that helped you continue or with that relationship to move into marriage? Did you do it personally?
Yeah, I did some of it. I would not have done all because I would have learned some of it in marriage, you know? So I would have done the basics, do you smoke, do you no, I can't associate myself with us, those are the things that I would, because I know I don't like smoking, I don't like, I can't stand these things. So I'm not looking for that type of partner per se. You understand? So I would be Square is a comedian tonight. So I would be like, the basic stuff. But in marriage, what I have learned is that because you're learning this person, because you're experiencing this person, because see, man, come live with me is two different things. All the time I seen you, but I'm living with you now. And because I'm living with you now, I am now seeing your habits, your traits. It's unfolding itself. And for me, it was a big adjustment when it comes to living, because there are things that, at the time, thank God, it has been improved, that my husband would have done that I would not have liked too much, I am an OCD person. My OCD is 1,000.
I know.
And, coming to live with someone who is not as OCD as I am, was a bit of a challenge, because when I come in the house, I would put my shoes to the side and
in a certain order in a particular direction.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And he would have fling it, and I'd be like, and that in itself, I had to check my attitude. I had to check me, because I could have easily blow off the handle. I'd be like, what happened to you? So were you checking in your shoes there for? And and then he'd have been like, why you getting on like that? Fast shoe? Why doing it? So I had to do a lot of self checks in that sense. To say, Chantal, breathe in and out, kind of thing. And then it's just like, at the end of the day, I grew. I just started to take the shoe and put it to the side, and not let it bother me in that sense. At the end of the day, when you're with someone, it's all about choosing your battles. You can't fight for everything. You can't fight for any and anything. You have to choose your battles wisely. And petty stuff should just be that, petty. It shouldn't be, even though it may annoy you, even though you may feel some type of way about it. This is something called life, and in life you make adjustments. You know, you adjust yourself to, you know, suit the situation in that sense. I'm not telling you to not to not be happy, and but you have to compromise. You know, you understand, but you have to be true to you then, right? You know you don't like it, just mention it. Don't come across as a mother, you know, or a father figure in that sense, because no husband or wife likes to be spoken to like, you know, as your daughter or your son kind of thing, right? You're the man of the house, I'm the woman of the house, and at the end of the day, you know, we give each other that respect in that sense. So it takes an adjustment, and I learned to adjust and make myself happy, because at the end of the day, I am responsible for my happiness. My partner is going to enhance it, yes, but true happiness starts from within me. If I'm not happy with myself, then I'm not going to be happy with my partner. You understand? So at the end of the day, I just had to do what I needed to do to keep me calm and keep me at peace. You know, talk about it and say, babe, you mind putting your shoes to the side, you know, because I really do appreciate it. Anyhow, one side so and one side so. And then he would make the necessary adjustment and say, well, all right, no problem. Yes, it took some practice, you know, initially, but at least the final result was the shoes ended up where it's supposed to be. And then everybody was happy.
And something that I realized is that, you know, a lot of people might do self-awareness when they're single, right? They might go into that and be like, okay, this is what I want. I know what I want. Let's say they get to that point of doing self-awareness and they're single. But when they get into a relationship, it just falls by the wayside. Like, you just forget that you still have to always be accountable for your behavior, and you have to always check yourself. In checking yourself, then you can now know what, as you said, what battles to fight, what is high on the priority list to deal with, what is not, you know, what you can leave, let it slide. And a lot of people in relationships, and they're not continuing with these activities, they're not. And I realized that you have to do it just as much as when you're single as when you're in a relationship, and even more when you're married. You know, so I can imagine you probably on a daily reflection, checking you know, everything and making sure all T's are dashed and the I's are dotted and everything. Because every day you always have to say these things. And someone made a point before. I'm wondering if it wasn't J Squared, because it says something about women have to submit to them.
That's where I said that.
Yeah, we're just gonna ignore that because I didn't want to get into that. But so you have to always be doing these assessments of yourself. And for young people, it might be different, because they may not be assessing relationships or themselves in that manner, but they will be assessing their life, what it is they want to do when they get, you know, older, and what it is they want to do in their career, and what, you know. But for as adults, as you get here and you have kids, especially for people who have kids, and
listen,
the kids.
Listen, I think if you have to have a motivation or a motivator, and you let it be your children. Let it be your children. You know why? Because they are looking for a role model. As far as they know, you are that for them, and nothing else should motivate you more than when you have children, because you want to be an example to them. They are very impressionable, and because they're impressionable, they do exactly what they see you do, what has in the environment. They are shaped by that, you know, and this is helping mold the man and the woman that they turn out to be eventually, right? And to me, like, because I have daughters, right? And to me, what happens is that every time I look at them, I'm reminded that they are looking at the woman that I am and how I present myself. And sometimes, even though I would want to be upset, with a situation with probably my husband, let's say we're upset, I have to keep in check how I respond to him, because the bigger one is going to be watching and be like, she's going to portray that same thing too. And then sometimes as adults we tend to fly off the handle a little bit of X, I'm in a mood, I don't care, whatever, and your children are wrong and they are being affected by that. And I have heard personally too many times adult persons would have said, when I was a child, I was affected by X, Y, and Z, or I had this in my environment, I saw this and my dad used to do this, or my mom used to do X, Y, and Z, and they are affected by it, and they would try now to, be conscious of it and try to change it for themselves so that they don't end up turning out to be that way, right? So I think for persons that have children, let your children be the motivator. Let them be the inspiration for you to want to be better, want to do better in your words, in your deeds, in the way how you present yourself. And that is all around. Yes, okay, when you're around your friends and they're not there, fine, no problem. It can be a
it should be practiced throughout, I think. Should not.
I mean, okay, when I mean when you're with your friends, right? I don't mean to be false or pretensive, but the way, okay, like if I meet you, Jazz, and we're together and we're having a nice time, because we always do, and I laugh, kia kia, right? I mean, if it is like me knowing myself, right, in that sense, sometimes if I hear my daughter laugh real scandalous too, I'll be like, and then I'll be watching like, what? When you pick up that laugh, and then I'll be like, oh, she hear me laughing out loud, so I can't get vexed with her for that. I can't get vexed with her for that, because at the end of the day, that's what she's hearing. That's what she's around, right? And at the end of the day, nothing is wrong with laughing little scandalous sometimes, because you get sweet joking, you're gonna laugh, ha 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 ha. You would laugh out how you feel, But at the same time and place for everything, right? So at the end of the day, if you're in a certain setting, you're not gonna laugh out kia. You have to have a composure. You have to have, some sort of poise with you, or to you, in that sense. So it's just really important, because we are shaping young men and young women, and we have to keep in check and remember that we are the examples for them. And if we slip up and how we speak to our significant others, or our friends, or our moms, or our dads, or whoever that we're in contact with, and they are around, they are listening. Sometimes when you hear little children cursing, how you want to curse, so?
Exactly.
It's because that's what they hear and that's what they're accustomed to, and then you as adults say, you mustn't do what I do, don't follow me. No, you have to be an example. Exactly. Because you can't want to be preaching something and you're not an example. You understand? Children follow by example, and if you know that you want, I think we owe it to our kids for them to be better than us. I think we owe it to them for them to be phenomenal in every aspect. They cannot be perfect, but they could try to be. At least we could give them that shot. We owe it to them to have a better life than us. So that's my encouragement for those who have children.
And for those who don't, because I don't have children.
Wait, Jazz, just now, guys, please come back on the live. We are going to get cut off, and we need you to come back because we have still a lot to share. Hi, Jazz.
Hi. Yes.
So let's a couple of them are now coming back. All right. Hi, Ainsley. Nice. So go ahead, Jazz. What you were saying?
Right. So I was saying that I don't have children. However, I think it's important that people have to focus on what they want. And only when you do your self-awareness or your assessments of yourself, you know what is your want and what your goals are. So I don't have kids, but one day I do want to have kids, and I want to be of a certain example to them, as you would have said. So I would act accordingly from now.
Yeah.
I have reached a time in my life, I would say, that I have experienced all the things I needed to experience prior to marriage and kids, right? And on my journey towards, family, it makes you, I understand that I have to work on certain things about myself, and that could be how I interact with my husband, my future husband, and how I treat him, and how I ask him to treat me, especially now in the presence of when kids do come. If they come, if God, blesses us with them, when they do come. And I think that is something that if it is now that that is your goal, you should start putting things into practice, because practice takes time, and practice makes progress. So if you start now, because you want to have children, you start doing certain things in a certain way, then you'll be able to, that by that time it will be second nature. Your behavior will be second nature. So you don't have to always be waiting until you're in the situation to learn to do something. You can learn it beforehand, and then you'll have the knowledge afterwards. So that's just my take on it. I remember we got a question before, but I cannot remember who asked it. But welcome Kai K, welcome Avi and Jason. Welcome guys again. So we were just talking about self-awareness, and I would really like to hear, especially from guys, because I'm not gonna lie, I do hear a lot of stories about women always sitting down and reflecting, thinking about what they like, what they don't like, how they want to be treated, all these different things. But I don't really hear much men doing it. Now, I'm not saying that men don't do it. It's just that I don't have much experience with seeing men doing it. So for the men that I hear right now, do y'all practice self-awareness? Do y'all do activities in self-awareness? And I mean like actually writing things down, answering questions. If it is I were to ask you a question right now, would you be able to answer it about yourself? Those things. Do you all engage in those things? Just a quick question for the guys that I hear Ainsley.
Did Square come back on?
No, I didn't see him. But Ainsley and Cliff.
Danile,
Okay, no, that's a female, so she's not to answer this question. But you did that once. Well, I would like to know at what point in time in your life you did it. Leslie, did you ever do any type of self-awareness activities? Jason, Adrian, because these things could answer a lot of the questions as to why you're probably, if you all are having issues, in terms of your relationships with people and your relationships with your spouse or your relationship with your girlfriend. These things could probably be the reason why, because you have not done these things. So Ainsley would have done it before marriage. I'm hoping that he continues to do it when in marriage. Cliff does it when he is going to...
But he was going about his education.
Right. So I hope that, he does it in the future as well. Adrian, what did Adrian say? You don't write anything down, you do activities about self-awareness.
He doesn't write anything down, but he always doing something about self-awareness.
But you should write it down. The benefits of writing is that it's always there. To me, how I see things, if it's not written, it doesn't exist. So if it is you don't have anything to go back on, you didn't do it. That's just my take. That's why I write down things a lot. So an example of a self-awareness exercise, well, it's basically a series of questions. On Wednesday, I will bring some exercises to everyone who's interested. Even if it is that you happen to not be able to make it on Wednesday, you can DM me on at Jazz Talks Too Much, or even Bambi at Bambi Talks Too Much, if you're interested in getting some of these self-awareness exercises. But we're going to be doing it on Wednesday, and I think it's something that you all need to check up on yourself on and get updated, because a lot of people are operating right now in a very outdated manner. You're operating on your 15-year-old self, or you're operating on your 20-year-old self, or you're operating when you were single self. So that is something that you need to know, that right now where I am in my life, I'm not single anymore. I'm not 15 years old. I'm 30. I have 2 kids. I have 5 kids. I have however much kids. I need to see about where I am and the people that are in my life at this time.
True.
And a lot of people don't understand the perception that people have of them. You might think it's so easy for men to get in trouble. How I don't understand how that will get you in trouble. Like, I don't even understand that statement. The reason why I don't understand it is because you doing an activity on self-awareness and yourself, writing down the things that you like and don't like. I don't see how that could get you in trouble with any spouse. If that does, that person also needs to do some exercises as well, and it should be a family thing. It should be something that you do if you are in a relationship. You should do it with your partner, so that both of you all are on the same path, on the same page when it comes to that. Hey, we need to understand each other a bit more, and by understanding each other a bit more, I need to understand myself a bit more. So for on Wednesday, that is the activity that we're going to have going on. So we hope that you guys come on and be a part of it. Also send your Jambi Mail to us so that we can get any questions. If it is that you have any additional questions with respect to self-awareness and what you can do, well, that is how we're going to send out the letters, right? The quiz, only if you send the Jambi Mail. So this is for Wednesday. And what I would like to just leave everyone with, or tell everyone, is that, on your journey in this life, it really does help you to understand your purpose some more when it comes to spending time by yourself. A lot of people think it might be considered selfish, actually allotting time for yourself, but it's not selfish. It's the best way that you can give back to people, so that is just my thing on self-awareness. Join us on Wednesday to do the activities, because I think it's the best way that you can understand it. And I hope that you're able to take away from that, especially from on Wednesday with the activities.
Yep. I definitely want to say that, self-awareness is important, guys. It all begins with you. And if nobody can change you, you have to change yourself. So for the people who are in relationships trying to change the man and trying to change the woman, forget it, stop it. It's not going to work out unless that person wants to change and they're aware of their behavioral patterns and they're aware how they're moving and, they're treating you and that kind of thing. That's on them. It begins with us. Our relationships can be better. And I'm not just talking about man and woman relationship. I'm talking about relationships generally on a whole. It can be better once we check ourselves. Let's be that best friend for that person. Let's be that best wife and husband for that person. Let's be the best mother and father for our children. Let's be the best worker. Let's be, best in every aspect of our lives. Let's treat people the way we want to be treated. And like I say, it begins with us. We have ways in us that we need to change, and don't be in denial. Don't say, well, I think, no, that is not, no. If you do an evaluation and you ask people, what about me, is not likable or whatever, and 2-3 persons saying the same thing, note to self that thing is a real thing. Accept it and try to change it. Look square. I square. So I hope, self-awareness has so much parts to talk about, and dive into, but our forum is limited to a certain timing, and we really can't get everything in it. Probably we could come back again, Jazz, and do something as a part 2 or something to it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I hope we were able to touch on certain things and make people aware that what, one of the things before we go, one of the things that people love to say is that you gotta accept me how I is. My mouth big and I just talk back and I am ignorant. Accept me or leave me be. You see, that attitude needs to change. That's not the right attitude going into wanting to be somebody's wife or wanting to be somebody's husband. It's not likable, and if you don't like it in somebody else, why should that person accept it in you? You understand? So we need to be mindful of the things, because we have a long list of the type of man we want and the type of woman we want. And on that list, check those things to see if you have all those traits. And if you don't have it, try working on it. Try being self-aware of those same traits that you're looking for in a partner, and start working on it. And that is when you would know you're ready for what you're asking for.
Bambi the song. The reminder of the song.
Come back for the song.
I forget what's it clean. Bambi the song.
Alright, guys, so before I sing this song, remember Q&A Wednesdays. Hit us up your Jambi Mails. Our email is girltalkjazzbambi@gmail.com. Please go and like and subscribe and like our YouTube channel, Girl Talk with Jazz and Bambi. Follow us on Instagram at Jazz Talks Too Much, at Bambi Talks Too Much, and we are also on Facebook at GTWJB. Right? Gosh, this song I did promise, so let's do it. All right, so what happened is, every time I know that I have to sing something for somebody, my throat tends to give problems. All of a sudden,
how you want to give this talent to the world? How you want to give this talent to the world when your throat does give problems before you are expected to sing? What sense that making?
No, serious. But what happened is just that shyness and that fear. And that is why I said I am working on it to, introduce myself and just do what I need to do. All right, guys. Seriously, don't hold my tita because my throat really gave me problems. All right.
Just away. Do you want me to look away or you want me to stay look at you?
No. You could look at me. I'm accustomed with you.
That's it.
Going nowhere fast, we've reached the climax. We're together, now we're undone. Won't commit, so we choose to run away. Do we separate? Oh, don't want to give in, so we both gave up. Can take it back, it's too late, we've reached the climax.
Yes. So guys, as I always say, to live the life that you love, but always love the life that you're living. At this point, always love it.
Yes, and guys, train your mind to see the good in everything. Positivity is a choice. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts.
Latifa, you're too late. We're now wrapping up. We're leaving. We're actually saying bye. I'm Jazz.
And I'm Bambi.
And we're out. So we see you all on Wednesday. Wednesday.
Yes.
We'll lipstick on Wednesday. Yes. We'll have it together on Wednesday.
No, it was. Guys, we love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being on the platform again. Have a good Sunday evening. Bye.
Bye.